Hi everyone, my name is Yong, and today my groupmates and I are going to share with you more about the structure and functions of the plasma membrane of a cell. Daryl will be covering with you about the portion on the functions, and Ming will be covering with you more about diffusion. Let me give you a brief introduction of our model. The red balls with the gold stars represent the phospholipid. The red part is the hydrophilic head, whereas the gold stars are the hydrophobic tail. As you can see, the plasma membrane is composed of a phospholipid bilayer stacked above one another, something like that of a sandwich. The blue plasticine model on the left represents the protein channel, which is also known as the transport protein. The one in the middle is the globular protein, and the rightmost one represents the peripheral protein. Moving on, we have the green and the blue structures, which represents the glycolipid and the alpha helix protein respectively. Last but not least, we have the yellow lightning bolt structure, which is the cholesterol.
Now I will be explaining the various functions carried out by the plasma membrane. Firstly, its function is to regulate the cell's internal environment. The phospholipid bilayer is arranged with all their hydrophobic tails pointing toward the center of the two layers to prevent most water-soluble molecules such as sugars and salts from entering. This allows the cell to regulate salt concentrations and pH, which are very important for normal cell functioning. Alpha helical proteins fold in a helical structure to ensure no polar groups are exposed and also maintain the hydrophobic nature of the membrane. The cholesterol molecules serve to stabilize the phospholipids in place and maintain their structure. Secondly, the plasma membrane helps in the interaction with other cells. The heads of the phospholipid layer can alter the surface chemistry of the membrane, acting as anchors for the molecules in the membranes of other cells. Glycolipids are lipids attached to carbohydrates with the purpose of providing energy for the cell, and they act as markers for cellular recognition. This facilitates the attaching of cells to one another to form tissues. Thirdly, the plasma membrane controls the transport of ions in and out of the cells. This is carried out by the globular proteins, peripheral proteins, and transport protein. These proteins serve as structural proteins as well.
Now I will elaborate more on how the plasma membrane performs its function via a process called diffusion. Diffusion is defined as the net movement of a substance in the form of atoms, ions, or molecules down the concentration gradient, from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Note that the rate of diffusion depends mainly on the concentration gradient. If the concentration gradient is steeper, the rate of diffusion would be faster. Diffusion of a substance across the plasma membrane is a form of passive transport, as the process does not expend any cellular energy. There are two ways in which molecules can diffuse through the plasma membrane. On one hand, molecules such as carbon dioxide and oxygen are capable of diffusing through the phospholipid bilayer. This is called simple diffusion. On the other hand, water-soluble molecules undergo facilitated diffusion via the pores of the transport protein in the membrane. This is called facilitated diffusion. Since the membrane controls the entry of certain molecules and ions, this results in two different concentrations on opposite sides of the membrane, creating a concentration gradient.
We hope you learn more about the plasma membrane.
Thank you for watching our video.
Have a nice day.